after exchange. Well, good morning, members of the press. Today we continue the journey that we started yesterday with Dr. Joyce Mujuru, a journey whose destination is a democratic, free, and prosperous Zimbabwe under a caring government. When we arrive at our desired destination in 2018, we will revive our industry so that we can create job opportunities for millions of our young people. We will attract investment, create new wealth, new jobs, and end the man-made crash crisis that we are facing. We will give title deeds and sustained support to our new farmers and compensate old ones as the process of restoring property rights and making Zimbabwe a net exporter of food once again. We will revamp and revitalize our health and education, service, delivery system. We will rehabilitate, modernize our collapsed infrastructure of roads, rail and energy. We will declare war on corruption. Through our socio-economic transformation agenda, we will restore Zimbabwe to its former glory. However, to embark on this transformation agenda, we need to extricate ourselves from the shackles of corrosive dictatorship and the economic mismanagement gripping our nation state. Father Zimbabwe, Dr. Joshua Nkomo, in his memoirs, whilst exiled in England, wrote something very profound, and I quote, unquote, "The hardest lesson of my life has come to me late. It is that a nation can win freedom without its people being free," unquote. His words still ring true today as they did then. As Zimbabweans, we are still not free, but none but ourselves can free ourselves. And to do so, we need to work together. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nkomo was exiled not by the racist settler regime of Ian Douglas Smith, but by his own comrade in arms, President Robert Mugabe. His exiling was not motivated by anything other than power and its retention at all costs. The cost of that power retention agenda was the massacre of 20,000 innocent civilians. President Mugabe, as Prime Minister, presided over these senseless killings. His response to the cry for simple apology and for transitional justice was that it was a moment of madness. Really? Was it a moment of madness or more than 20,000 innocent civilians? To us, it was more than that. It can only be described as cruel, unbridled, state-sponsored violence or terrorism. Cruelty manifested in divisive politics of hate, violence, intolerance, racism, tribalism, which form part of the DNA of ZANU-PF. This, my countrymen and the women, will put an end come 2018. Not through retribution, but restitution. For a change to come, we all have to be part of the play. The most critical role that you must play wherever you are is to register to vote so that you can participate in shaping the destiny of our nation and securing the future of our children by voting for change. Failure to do so would mean that you are voting for the perpetuation of our current suffering. Let's go out in our numbers and register to vote, which is going to be very shortly announced, that we can usher in a new dispensation where every Zimbabwean, irrespective of race, creed, religion, tribe, is given equal opportunity to prosper. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be remiss for me not to mention that whilst yesterday we started a journey of alliance building, the real journey for democratization of our country started in 1997 with people like myself, Professor Ncube here present. When we launched the National Constitutional Assembly, it was an inspired process designed to give the people of this country freedom that we demand and deserve through enactment of a democratic constitution. Today we take great pride that we achieved what we set ourselves to do, a new democratic constitution with a superior Bill of Rights. This was against the wishes of President Mugabe and ZANU-PF. Sadly, most parts of that constitution, notably devolution of power to the provinces, are still to be implemented because democracy and freedom are allied to President Mugabe in Zambia. A difficult proposition indeed, as President Mugabe once said himself. I want to promise today that come 2018, we will fully implement our constitution as part of our democratization agenda and ensure that our provinces, local authorities take responsibility for the management of their own affairs. It will also be equally dishonest not to recognize that in our journey, Professor Ncube, here present, and me, we both made our own mistakes. We split our party in 2005. The cost of that vote splitting, in addition to the blatant manipulation of results, was delayed change for the people of Zimbabwe in 2008. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes humble leadership to accept that one's mistakes, but it also takes bold leadership to correct those mistakes. It is in this respect that I am both relieved and pleased to have to sign a memorandum of understanding with Professor Ncube here present as the first step towards undoing the damage we caused ourselves. Today, Professor Ncube and I will open a new chapter and craft a new political agreement that should see us harness and combine our non-electoral strengths to face our common opponent as a united front. If anyone in this country expects us to contest the next election separately, as we did in 2008 and 2013, and expect a different result, it will not only be a third moment of real madness, but the highest form of lunacy and insanity. And none of us are insane. Finally, to my late friend and comrade Gibson Swander, I have taken the first step to do that which should have done when he was still alive. May his dear soul rest in peace. Today, we are coming together once again because Zimbabwe and the collective interests of its people are more important than any one of us. I thank you for your attention.
With everything that he has said to you this afternoon, both in terms of the vision, the economic and other policy interventions that we intend collectively to make post the 2018 elections, and his description of the nature of the political crisis that faces us as a people, which has caused us to be here today and to reflect very hard on what needs to be done to answer the obvious call of our people to be united in facing our common opponent, that is ZANU-PF. Let me also expressly repeat what President Tsvangirai has said, that I too take personal responsibility for the mistakes that we have made in the past, the decisions that we made, which were clearly not always in the national interest, in particular in relation to the splitting of the MDC that the President has referred to. We accept that we divided our people, we divided the membership of the party, which we should not have done. And I too take responsibility for those mistakes. But what is more important today is for us to not just accept those mistakes, but begin to take the requisite steps that are necessary for us to be accountable to the people of Zimbabwe. And the people of Zimbabwe, wherever we go, tell us that whatever you have differences on, you must unite, you must come together, you must work as a collective to confront the regime which has caused so much misery and so much chaos to this beautiful country of our forefathers. We owe it to future generations, we owe it to ourselves to do everything that we can to make sure that come 2018, we do not fail. The objective should be to bring together all the democratic forces who have some value to add to the struggle that we confront, to the opponent that we will face. And I want to congratulate President Tsvangirai and his team for the work that has so far been done, and to wish all of us the best of luck as we move forward with negotiating on the substance of the things that we must agree on before we confront the ZANU-PF dictatorship in 2018. I thank all of you for listening to me.